Hi guys, Victor from Tech Heads here. Before we get started today, I would like to announce once again that our Patreon is officially live, but this time with some extra features. When you sign up, you officially become a producer of the show. This means that you will get access to exclusive behind-the-scenes content such as our extensive show notes. On top of this, you will also have access to the episodes 4 days earlier than everybody else. If this sounds good to you, feel free to check it out at patreon.com/techheads.
4, 3,
Now
2,
on with the show.
1. So, here we go.
How you all feel tonight?
I did our clappy clap.
All right.
1, 2, 3, clap. Lovely action. I don't know why. I was watching a podcast or something recently, and they have like multiple cameras for their setup. And at the beginning, it always shows him setting up, and he always just claps. And to me, I'm like, oh, that's so smart, because you have to sync up all the different audio tracks with the video from each camera and sync it all up. And like, as long as the claps sound, like good and synchronous from all of the different audio and video sources, then you know that they all match up. So that's the whole point of the little block thing in movies where they always like clamp it down like that. Yeah, isn't that crazy?
That's, oh my gosh, that is mind blowing.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
And they have the little timer and everything on it, like the timestamp. So then it's because there's usually multiple cameras and audio sources, because they have like the boom operator. So it just makes it easier for everybody to have that. And that didn't click.
Right.
That didn't click with me until I started editing this podcast. So yeah, the more you know. Isn't that cool?
Wow. Yeah. No, yeah, that is very good. Did you know?
Yeah. Did you know?
Nice.
Yeah. What's been going on? How are you? We had a busy week at work.
Busy.
I didn't get to really talk to you.
I know. Yeah. I know that sometimes like we exchange, messages throughout the week and everything, especially like in preparation for the episodes. But this was a really hectic one. I think it was because like I don't know if it was like for the company as a whole, but it was, the closing of the quarter, closing of a month. And it was just kind of like insanity, with everyone that I talked to. So it was very hectic. It is Sunday today here, so I'm trying to get a little bit of rest. But yeah, it's just, I feel like, even when I am having downtime, it still feels like it goes by so fast. So, tomorrow's already back to the grind, but I mean, not much to complain about. It's just, it's like a busy period, of the year, I think, but a lot of cool things planned, over the next couple of weeks, like some social events and stuff that, we're going to get to see Sam's family that are coming to town. And we're also having a lot of fun with the bike. I've been practicing like when the weather is good, like we've had really good weather for the past couple of days. So every time I wrap up with work, like even if it's a weekday, we just take it to the little Target like nearby, and we just practice on the lot, because there's still building and a bunch of the new business spaces are still empty, so it's very like there's a brand new parking lot that no one parks at. So I just practice over there to get a bit more familiar with the bike before I feel like I want to go take the course, because it's an expensive course. So I want to make sure that I feel good, that I feel confident to pass. So I'm still getting a bunch of practice, but yeah, pretty, exciting stuff. How about you guys?
Yeah, awesome weather for Portland, at least.
Nice.
We're entering spring, so we're really excited to just spend more time outside. Like last night, we went out and just like had dinner somewhere, and it was crazy because it was still light outside. And we were sitting outside, so it was just beautiful. And
nice.
So that's been cool. I've been spending a lot more time on my balcony, because it's silly that we even have one, just because we can't use it ever. But so now it's getting to balcony weather, and I chill out there with the Rubik's Cube and just work on that, or I'll get some real work done sometimes. But yeah, I got my time down to 2:11, so that is my record at the moment. So I'm trying to get like I don't know, sub 2 at least. I want to get into like 1:45 range eventually. So that's my new goal. So I've been doing that. Let's see. Other than that, I mean, I updated my phone to iOS 15.4.1. So that's a thing.
I don't even know what mine is on.
Yeah. So this one has the Face ID update. So if you're wearing your mask, it'll usually work. And then there's 37 new emojis. And then the big update for it is the universal control, but you can't do that on a phone, so it doesn't really matter in this case. But if you have an iPad or an iMac or a MacBook of any kind, like Pro, Air, regular, you can use universal control, which basically allows you to use other Apple devices as second screens and move items seamlessly between the devices, like almost as if you had multiple monitors. So that's the big update. That was supposed to come, I think, like last year, or like maybe just when Monterey came out. I don't know. It was basically delayed for a bit. So now it's officially out. I don't know if it's beta, but it's out. So if you want it, you can start trying it out. And it seems really cool because if I don't know, if you have like your Mac already set up on your desk or whatever, and then maybe you have a little iPad on the side if you need to drag something over real quick instead of like airdropping it or texting yourself the link to it or whatever. It just, hopefully increase productivity. And it seems really fun. So I might pull out the old iPad and try it out. But my iPad is pretty dated, so I don't even know if it could handle it.
Yeah, I don't even know which model that is, because I got it in early 2020. And I mean, I can tell you that when I was in school, I was still using it, for like reviewing for tests and the homework and all that stuff. But I have not lately. So it's been sitting here, and every time I grab it, like, which is, I don't know, once every like couple of months, it's always dead because I never use it, and I have to plug it in, and then I'm like, oh, whatever, I'll just go back to my phone. So I really don't use it, So, but yeah, I mean, if I just checked on my phone, I'm still on the previous version of the iOS, so I have to update it. But it'd be cool to see, what these changes are. So I'll definitely try it out.
Yeah, definitely.
It just came out this week, right?
Yeah, it came out super recently. Yeah. I looked on my phone this morning and I saw that it was due for the update, so I did that. Yeah, Augie, shut up.
I know, right?
Just kidding.
He's always like huffing and puffing because he saw Sam drive away, so he can see her as she was on the bike.
It's funny because when I'm listening to you talk right now over Teams, I can't really hear any of that sort of stuff going on. But then when I do go back and edit, sometimes I do hear Augie like do his little roughs or whatever, and I think it's so cute. I'm like, oh, there he is. I didn't hear that earlier.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm the only one, if Sam is home, he hangs out with her.
Right.
But if I'm the only one, which like during the week, when I'm working, he's always here under my my chair, my desk, somewhere, because he's grown so attached. But I mean, we do spend, like this whole time together, and he really doesn't like to be alone. So I don't mind it so much, but until, he does bark or does something during a call or whatever, and I'm like, damn it, Augie. But generally, he's really good companion. Like, I really couldn't complain. He's not a bad dog to have to, to share the space with, because I do work from home. He's not as rowdy as, some other dogs, or it depends on the day. Some days he's a bit needy.
Right, yeah. They're children, so, what can you do?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Speaking of Apple stuff, though, I wanted to do a little bit of follow-up on the hackers from last week. So there's...
Yes.
Did you see this? Probably, maybe.
Yep.
The Apple and Meta hackers. Yeah. I guess it's really old news, but it came forward that they were basically putting in fake emergency data requests to big companies like Facebook and Meta. So they would do this, in order to get like IP addresses, street addresses, phone numbers, like, all the sensitive data from the users of like companies like Apple and Meta, but it happened to a bunch of other companies. So these hackers, it's the same people from last week. Lipsis, what are they called?
Oh, Lapsus?
Yeah. So they were pretending to be law enforcement and emailing or messaging, whoever. I think it was email, because they technically had to, in order to do this, they had to hack the police in order to get, some sort of access to an official law enforcement email address. So then they could, from that email address, email these big companies and say, hey, we need all of this data. We're doing a big investigation. And that's not it's not out of the ordinary to request. Like, they're kind of used to that. But here's a quote from the article. So, law enforcement officials often request data from social platforms in connection with criminal investigations, allowing them to obtain information about the owner of a specific online account. While these requests require a subpoena or search warrant signed by a judge, emergency data requests don't and are intended for cases that involve life-threatening situations. So that's how they were able to, request this data without having any official court, issued documents or subpoena or anything like that. They could just be like, hey, this is urgent. We need it now. It is an emergency data request, so we don't need to give you any more information, really. You just have to give us the data now. So turns out the people behind Lapsus from, the big NVIDIA and Samsung hacks, they were also behind this. But I think this happened in mid-2021, and they're just, coming forward about it or whatever. But, since then they've been arrested, or a lot of them have been arrested. But the leader of Lapsus, he was especially involved in this as well. And just as a reminder, guys, these are high schoolers. Like, this is absolutely crazy that they could even hack law enforcement and then hack a big company. Like, it's just, it's crazy. Like, I don't know. What do you think about this?
I know. Yeah, no, I came across the same thing. So, like, what I was reading is that they hacked this company called Globant. And they partner with, all sorts of like global brands, including Apple. So I wasn't sure if that's what, if it was like the same hack, because I feel like they've hacked every single Fortune 500 company at this point. But they, this company apparently had some sort of dealing with Apple in regards to the Apple Health app. So they released like 70 gig, Lapsus released to 70 gigs of data for, combined for all of these partners that Globant has worked with. So I was like, well, there they go, striking again. But maybe, I think I might have missed where it said, because I know that we had talked about the fact that they recently got imprisoned, or they got caught. So I was like, well, did they like already get released and then attack again? Or is it just like an old thing that happened, So I feel like it's the gift that keeps on giving, but not in a good way, because they're always on the headlines, and it's like this huge gang, it's not just one or two individuals, it's a bunch, and they might be spread out in other, in different continents. Like, because I heard that they were also involved in releasing COVID data in Brazil at the end of last year, because the government was, not very transparent about their stats for COVID. So they said that there was potential that there was another hacker in Brazil cooperating with Lapsus, to release this information. So I feel like it's just like it's sort of like a hacker web at this point, or I don't know. It's just like a huge gang spread out all over the world. And I don't even know, like, they probably caught some of the guys, but maybe not everyone that has been responsible for these hacks.
Yeah. Of course not. I mean, they definitely have like almost like a fail-safe probably, in order. So like, even if they catch quote unquote everybody, there's always somebody who knows how to continue forward with what they want to accomplish probably, and like the steps they need to take. So yeah, I'm sure it's a much bigger community than we even understand. So, they're probably going to be in the news many, many more times, and they're going to be like, "Oh, I thought we caught them all." Like, I just don't. I know. They, like you said, they are probably so spread out, like for safety reasons, and if they're all in the same area, that's just crazy. I mean, that's probably how they caught like the handful last week in London. They were all probably just the OG members. and
Yeah.
they caught them. So I don't know. I think
Right.
they're probably doing it a lot more smartly than we think. So, but
Yeah, that's true.
speaking of hacking, I have another thing. So we should just change our name to Hackheads. To be honest, we're just talking about hacking now.
Yep.
So I think this is the third time this happened this week, actually. So, do you know Inverse Finance? It's a DeFi lender. They're like one of the bigger ones. This week they got exploited for $15.6 million. And here's the tweet from them. So they say, this morning, Inverse Finance's money market Anchor was subject to a capital-intensive manipulation of the INV/Ethereum price oracle on Sushi Swap. I can never say Sushi Swap. That's so hard. Which resulting in a sharp rise in the price of INV, which subsequently enabled the attacker to borrow $15.6 million in a bunch of different cryptos. I'm not going to name them all, but and this wasn't like flash loan. I forget what it's called. It's like flash borrowing or flash loaning or flash lending, like something like that. But basically, you can like anybody without any credit history or anything, like just a 5-year-old could do this. They could go on something like Inverse Finance, and they could like do a flash loan of like, I don't know, like $5 million in a certain crypto, as long as it's promised that they return it back immediately. But you're doing it banking on the fact that, or the idea, not the fact, but the idea that it's going to go up. So then you get the difference. Basically, it's like almost like getting in, getting out immediately, but in a huge quantity. But obviously that's super dangerous, because if it goes down even like a fraction of a percent, like that's still a big loss if you're doing a flash loan of millions of dollars. So it wasn't that situation. It was a little bit more complicated than that. And this is the third time this week, I believe, that this happened to some sort of DeFi related organization this week, where there was a huge exploitation of millions of dollars. So I don't think there's a common denominator between all of them, but yeah, there's some stuff going on in the crypto world at the moment. So I don't know if it's just coincidence.
Isn't there always?
Yeah, I know there's always something, but I mean, 3 major exploitations this week it is pretty crazy. I haven't really seen that ever. So, geez.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds that's I think unfortunately, the downfall of or the like con, of crypto, because it's still like such a new technology, and there are still unfortunately, ways that you have like these bad actors or whatever, that do get their hands on things and influence, because there's so much money pouring into it, like obviously they have their eyes on it. So if there's an opportunity there, these people are unfortunately going to take it. And then, that sounds like a lot of money. So I feel bad for those that were involved, because usually this is not, like a bank. I feel like if you lose it, then is not insured, so it sounds like it's a lot of money. Very unfortunate there.
Well, I think like KuCoin, I think they insure. I think Coinbase may.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if some exploitation like that happens, I'm pretty sure I think everybody's insured. Kind of like FDIC in a way, like if your bank gets hacked. Yeah, I think it's that sort of situation. Right. But I don't think all of them do it. So before you join some sort of I don't know, some sort of flash loan sort of web app or whatever, I would be a little more diligent in research and see like what you're insured by if something does go wrong. So just a quick shout out to Inverse Finance. They should maybe start a what's it called? A GoFundMe if they're going to keep getting these exploitations. Like it's so much money. I can't even fathom that. But
I know.
I mean, on the bright side though, Cardano did really well this week, killing it. A lot of crypto actually did really well this week. My portfolio looked really, really good. But then like towards the end of the week, it just kind of went back to normal. But Yeah, it was cool seeing all green for like, I don't remember what day it was. It may have been like Wednesday or Thursday, but yeah.
Yeah, right. Close to, like, very close to the last few days of the month, I think I noticed too. So, yeah, it was neat, because I get like the push notifications from Coinbase to like whenever, there's a big movement either way, up or down, for like I think Ethereum and Bitcoin. So yeah, it was cool. I think like Bitcoin got up to, I don't know, 47, 48, something like that, and then kind of went back down a little bit. But it was dragging Ethereum along with it, so that was nice.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it felt so good. I was like,
that's where my heart lives.
Exactly.
Ethereum.
Yeah. In my wallet.
Yeah. Right.
Well, I was looking at the graph for Cardano, and I remembered that I did like a little technical analysis on it like months ago, and I really didn't have too much hope for it because it's been in a downward trend since like, I don't know, October. I could have the month wrong. It was like late last year, basically. I kind of have the timeline cut off on the screenshot. But yeah, shout out to Patreon if you want to check out the technical analysis I'm talking about. I have a screenshot of it on the notes, so if you're a Patreon user, you can follow along and see what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's been in a downward trend for the better part of like, I don't know, 6-ish, 8-ish months. But this week was the first time we actually broke the trend line, and it seems to kind of be on a slight uptrend. And who knows, maybe this could be a quick little thing, but it hasn't done that in at least 6 months. So it is a good position to be in for the people who've been on Cardano for a long time. Maybe it's about to soar. So who knows? I don't know. Maybe it's a good time to grab some Cardano, but that's totally up to you. You can grab as much as you want. By the way, I read this article on it. Actually, it mentioned the New York City mayor who took his first like 3 paychecks in Bitcoin or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. So there's other mayors, and there's people in other positions of power, and normal employees at bigger software companies. It's not super common, but it still happens that they take all of their paychecks in Bitcoin. Like there's one mayor in particular who does. I don't remember. I think it's in Florida, maybe Miami. He takes everything in Bitcoin. And then this guy, like Richardson is his last name, but he is the CEO of some Web3 company or whatever. And he takes everything in Bitcoin. But from reading the article, it was super clear that that's just not attainable or smart to do if you're just the everyday U.S. citizen. Because like these, obviously the volatility of it is absolutely crazy. Like they get huge losses like all the time. They also, the inverse is also true sometimes, but it was clear that like, yeah, let's say they get paid this week and it's like, I don't know, 20% down. The normal person might not be able to get groceries that week for that. But then for them, it's really, they can afford the loss. So it's at this point, it's still not attainable for everybody to do, but is kind of like a silver lining to me, because I do feel like eventually we'll get to a more hopefully volatile, not more volatile, sorry, less volatile place in crypto where we can take our paychecks in Bitcoin, like just the everyday employee at any company can just be like, oh, I'll do crypto this time, or I'll always do crypto. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon, but it is cool to read these articles about people doing it and them actually telling us all the downsides. But again, they can afford it. So I don't know. Hopefully we can get to that position. Would you ever, I mean, it's so hard to even talk about now because it is, like I said, it's more for people in like the, 1% or whatever. But could you see yourself eventually, if things start to kind of taper out and chill in terms of crypto, would you consider taking your paychecks in like Bitcoin, for instance?
I mean, I think that like if I because if I had way more assets that I was not relying on like a
Right.
regular salary to get by, then yes, because I probably would just care about having another asset. I wouldn't be cashing out for dollars, because I'm pretty sure these people are not. Like I'm sure that they have like another source of income, or at least they don't, like you said, like they don't really rely on every single one of those transactions, like they're not constantly converting those or cashing out, because they know that it's just like a nest egg, that they're putting away for like a rainy day or for like the future, because they know that it has the potential to be worth a lot of money. So yeah, I think in that scenario, probably, but yeah, like you said, because of the volatility, like you can lose so much money from from one week to another, as well as make a lot of money too. But the thing is, I think that there's still like a long way to go, like in the crypto market, like until adoption is more widespread. I mean, it's still like really up in the air, because of the times that we live in, and with like all of these upcoming regulations all over the world, like you really don't know what's going to happen. So it bounces back, up and down. And yeah, for like I think for the regular, working citizen, like I am, I wouldn't feel comfortable. But I think if you're not really thinking about how much, like what the dollar amount, is associated with that, like with your payment, like with your wages, then if you're just literally, taking that and putting it into a wallet, then sure, why not? Like I feel like these people are probably making the smart decision for them. But yeah, I think that for like, the regular worker, it probably will take a while, I guess, to get to that point.
Right. Actually, I just remembered the mayor in, I think it was Miami. I'm almost 100% positive, but this mayor, they publicly disclosed his salary as like 90 something. But like you said, like even at 90, I feel like that's not a super smart thing to do. So yeah, obviously he has other assets. He has other things going on. If he's obviously he's in politics, like there's always something shady under the surface. So like he's not making 90. That's his salary for being the mayor. Like he's making more doing, God knows what. But who knows? Maybe he has a pizza place. I don't know. But he's totally, that was such a weird joke. I didn't even mean to do that. I didn't mean to do Pizzagate joke, but I was just saying maybe he owns like a bagel shop. It doesn't have to be pizza. So
some kind of business. Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So for the everyday person, it's it also is kind of tricky just because for instance, like paying rent. I don't know of a way to pay for rent with crypto yet. Like I'm sure that's around the corner, coming soon. And you could technically do that by cashing out your crypto, but directly from crypto to rent payment being satisfied, I don't think that service exists yet. So until more regular everyday costs get adopted to purchasing with crypto, I think that'll be a big milestone for when we eventually start to be like, hey, I think I do want to take my paycheck in crypto this time, or like
right.
It just depends on mass adoption, which we're already so close to, getting there. Like, I mean, we have expensive cartoons. We have Super Bowl ads where they are, directly involved in crypto. So it's totally different from last year. So obviously this time next year is going to be like, who knows, like double the exposure, double the amount that we interact with it every day. Who knows?
Right.
Yeah. We might all only live in the metaverse next year. Who knows?
Oh my gosh! Speaking of metaverse, yeah, I don't know if that was in the metaverse. I watched a video on Reddit the other just like 2 days ago. It was I think the guy was wearing the person was wearing like one of the VR headsets, and to experience what it's like when a nuclear bomb goes off. So he was like on an island, and the bomb went off in front of him and just like decimated the whole place. And it was like the weirdest kind of like experience. And I was expecting like a tsunami because he was on an island, but even though it looked like it was far enough, like it just destroyed the place. It was like the weirdest thing. And I was like, oh my gosh, is that like what people are doing in the metaverse? Like, I'm like, I thought of something really weird that I would like to see, but not physically experience, just watch.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was kind of, I was like, oh yeah, that's, I guess, something that, we're going to get to see, hopefully not for real in the metaverse or in a video game or whatever,
Who are these developers
yeah.
making a world where you can
I know,
experience a bomb?
Jeez.
Talk
Yeah,
about
I was
like
that was
imagine
kinda...
putting in late hours like into that. Just I don't know. That's an interesting idea. But I guess those people have to exist. I don't know. Maybe it'll be educational for once we get to a more I don't know. I don't even know what the word for it would be. But anyway, like an education where they always try to like scare us with like the dare to resist drugs. Like they show us those videos of people who are like, they, spent their lives doing drugs and they're like, oh, look at them now. They're in jail. They're like crippled. They're, all these things. Maybe they're going to do that with bombs, but it's like, okay, like why scare us with that? We have no control over nuclear warfare.
Right. Right. I know. Exactly. Right. Yeah. It was kind of weird that this person wanted to experience that. But anyway, to each their own. I did come across something really cool because I have been wearing contact lenses for a couple of years now, and I was just like, I've always been really into the idea of getting LASIK done. And then for some reason, I think I stumbled upon this on like CNET or whatever. Not quite about LASIK, but apparently there is there are like smart contact lenses coming out, like or some like in development, by some companies. So this one, it's called, I'm not really sure what the brand was. I don't know if the guy, the researcher, or the person that actually got to wear them could disclose, but apparently when he put it on, the journalist, he said that there was like a series of little pop-up, directional markers that appear because the lenses themselves have like sort of like chips or like little circuits, just like when you look at oh my gosh, what are it's sort of like circuits, but they're not the hard material, obviously, because it's in your eye, so it still has to be something, I guess, thin enough that it's not that uncomfortable for you to wear. But as soon as you put it on, it shows like little markers, sort of like when you've seen, I'm sure that, a bunch of people have seen the movies where they put the glasses on and, just like Google Glass or whatever it is, you can see, control things, do things with your, like by how you look. And yeah, so this one, I don't think it has a lot of features yet, but like, it had a little marker with a compass, so it would tell him which direction north was, So I was like, this is getting really cool because I never thought about contact lenses. We've always been hearing about glasses and stuff like that. So yeah, I thought that was kind of neat. I mean,
Wow.
I think it's like a long shot, but I was pretty amazed when I found out about my contact lenses that have transitions, so they get darker like when I get exposed to sunlight. So I can tell just a little bit when it does get dark. But now these, I guess, have, like these cool features with them. So it's going to be exciting to see what else, like we'll be able to do just by looking, because I feel like we've seen a lot of gesturing, with like your hands or like your fingers. I mean, we have smartphones, like we control everything by touching. But by looking, I think that would be like even more different and lazy, so you've, I guess it's going to be interesting to see what else, or if it's, it really does take off, because it is something a bit more not invasive, but you're literally putting it on your eye. So you have to be careful that you have to make sure that, it goes through like the proper testing and it doesn't cause any harm to like the vision, or the eye itself. So
Wow.
yeah, but I thought it was kind of cool. I mean, if someone like a regular person has put it on and tested it, so I think it's a long way. It has a long way to go, but it still sounds kind of interesting.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I mean, what's the worst that could happen? The motherboard short circuits and your eye gets fucked up. So I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
Just your eye.
I mean, it is what it is. Like you signed up for it, right?
Right. No, I'm sure that's gonna. I'm sure that's not even that far away from happening. Honestly, I mean, like you said, your contacts. Yeah. They are transition contacts. Like that's so crazy that we can have technology that directly touches our eyeballs and there seems to be no like dire consequences to it. So I'm sure we're not super far off from having something like that working. So like when you go inside after just being outside, are your eyes, are they like darker?
Yeah. So I noticed like I think I've looked at like myself in the mirror before after standing outside like without sunglasses, and my eyes are like black because I already have like brown eyes, and when I put the contacts on and I stand out there, then they get really they don't get like super dark, but it's sort of like wearing, like a light shade of sunglasses. So it does give me sort of like that protection. And I've been wearing them for, I don't know, like maybe 2 years now. So yeah, because I first found out about it. I mean, I went to like the eye doctor one day for a regular, exam because I felt that I might have to like up my prescription. And I was complaining that I, work in front of the computer and even driving at nights, the light really bothers me. So he said, well, give these a try, he gave me a couple of trial pairs, of contacts. So I tried it out, and then I saw that they weren't, too terribly expensive. So I've been wearing them since. So it's been a few years and I really like it.
Wow. Do they make polarized versions of those, or is it just the tinting or whatever?
Yeah, as far as I know, this is it. I mean, I haven't changed, like I said, because I like these so much. So I don't know if there are. These are by AccuView, so I think that there are like something kind of similar, or maybe even better by now, because they were kind of new when I started wearing them, and it's already been a few years, So I feel like, there's maybe there's been, like some good improvement because, I mean, if you think about it, like, we're still kind of like getting past the pandemic. People are working from home. You're always in front of like some kind of electronic device, like even if you are not necessarily a tech worker, like you are looking at a screen most likely with whatever it is that you're doing. So yeah, I mean, I feel like, there's like a bunch of like new things going on in that field too. I've been pretty happy with this set. So maybe I should look and see if there's, like something new to try, because I'm always open to it. I mean, like I said, I've always wanted to do LASIK. I'm still considering it just because I would never have to worry about sleeping with my contacts on and then freaking out when I wake up, and remember that or feel like that really like sticky or like hard contact in there, like it scares me to death. So yeah, but yeah, it's still not, I mean, I can't get by without glasses or contacts anymore, so it'll be nice to have LASIK, but still some can cool options out there.
Oh geez, I could not imagine putting contacts in. I don't think I ever will. I couldn't. I can barely touch my own eyeballs. Like I couldn't imagine putting a thing in my eye like that. That's not psycho, but it's pretty crazy. I know everybody does it, but man, that's that. Yeah. I feel like that's like the true test of a warrior if you can put contacts in. So shout out to all you contact warriors out there.
It wasn't that hard for me to get used to it, but it's really about what is there, doing what it's supposed to do, which is like enhancing your vision, but you don't feel it. Like, I mean, I don't know. I didn't like if I didn't put the contacts on myself now, I mean, aside from the fact that I know that my vision is crap without it, I don't feel anything, so it's pretty comfortable. The only thing you have to watch out for is like, having dry eyes. So sometimes I have to use eye drops, to like moisturize and whatever. But yeah, it's not for everybody. I mean, I still have a pair of glasses because some days I do need to give my eyes a break too, you know? So
I imagine like one day the transition contact lenses are gonna be so good where like you literally don't have to bring glasses to the beach. Like you're just gonna be in the sun, just staring at the sun with like what people would think are just like your naked eyeballs and be like, whoa, she's got some strong eyes over there. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I remember I went on vacation though, and even though I was wearing goggles because we were snorkeling, I think I lost my contacts, you know. So there are some tricky things, which kind of goes back to it would be nice to have like, you know, perfect 20/20 vision, because then I wouldn't have to worry about these things. Because like I said, if I don't have my contacts and I have to drive, for instance, I'm screwed. You know, if I don't have like a pair of glasses with me, I really can't see anything. So I'll be like in a bind. I would have to like probably ditch my car and get Uber or call someone to pick me up. So yeah, it's I don't know. I mean, I think that hopefully there will be some cool advancements. I mean, it'll be really cool. I would definitely try out, you know, these smart contacts.
Right.
I think it would be really neat to see like what you can do with it.
Yeah, remember the Google glasses? Maybe Google will do Google contacts.
I know.
There's little Chrome balls on your eyes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Right? Can you imagine? Like you were doing free advertisement for Google, like with their little logo and everything.
Oh, that's kind of a scary image if you really think about it. People walking around with Google Chrome icons for their eyeballs. That's like a deep metaphor. There's a metaphor in there somewhere, but anyway.
Yeah, they'll probably think you're a droid.
Yeah, exactly. That's my
an android.
An android. Oh, that's a good. Yeah, there you go. Oh man. Yeah. So I have a random recommendation actually. It's not a thing. It's an article that I read about taking your GitHub repo to like the next level. Basically, I have it linked below. It's just a cool little checklist and little how to on how to make your repo look like those repos with like thousands of stars, where they have like, you know, all the badges and a really, really good looking README, all those nice instructions, and then they have that professional cover image. So I have an article linked below, basically that takes you step by step on how to achieve all of those things for your repo and make it look like you deserve more stars than you have, basically. Nice. I've never even thought about having badges. Like I look at the badges on other repos and I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Like whatever. And then I've never thought about doing it myself. But all they really do is just convey metadata from the repo. So like it'll show if all the tests are passing or not for your repo. You know, stuff that people care about. So it's cool to have like little extra things like that. It means a lot to somebody who is reviewing your repo. So yeah, I would check that out if you plan on taking your repo to the next level, basically. I don't know. Whenever I make one, I'm just like in a hurry. Usually I'm like, all right, I'll just name it hippopotamus. Like, I don't know. Whatever like the recommended name is, I like to go with that, like hippopotamus taco or something stupid. And then I love making READMEs, but then I hardly ever do a good one. I think I did a GIF one time where like it was little not a tutorial, but just like me using it basically, so you don't have to install anything. So I've done that a few times, but that just makes it look really good, especially if you're gonna have multiple for each step on how to get started with whatever the project is. So yeah, that is linked below. Do you have a recommendation?
I do. So actually two things. Something that I totally forgot about, but I don't know how you feel or, you know, like our listeners feel about the Halo show. If you don't know yet, I guess the first episode is out on YouTube for free, so you can watch that without having to get Paramount. Ooh. So, you know, go check it out.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I mean, I saw the preview, but I haven't seen the episode, so I might give it a try. And then the other true recommendation that I have is called Break the Code by Tech Domains. So this is kind of like a puzzle website. Like if you go to breakthecode.tech, It will take you to like a 1999 UI where it's kind of like a code breaking puzzle website that gives you like rewards or prizes, if you do solve some of the puzzles. So it seems really, really cool. I'm still making the time to check it out. I think I came across this either on Reddit or I don't know, a YouTuber recommended it. And I thought it was so cool how like the landing page looks like Windows 98 or whatever it is. Like it's super old school.
Yeah, I see. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks really neat.
It's so weird
so
seeing the
it
word
seems like
GitHub and Discord in a
I know.
like Windows XP or no, Windows 2000. Whatever my shirt
right.
is. Windows 2000
There
UI.
you go.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
Yeah, right.
I'm signing up right now.
Yeah, so I thought, yeah, let me know what you think. I thought it was pretty cool, and especially if it does give you the opportunity to get some like prizes. I think it's even cooler. So yeah, that's what I have for my recommendation of this week.
The little paperclip guy. Oh my god.
Oh my god, yeah. What was it? Clippy? Was it Clippy his name?
I think so.
Or
Yeah.
something like that? I don't even remember anymore.
Wow.
Oh man,
Clippy.
those days.
Oh, here's it pops up with like an email from Outlook Express. Whoa. Okay, this is really cool.
I love the pixelated prizes off to the side. It looks so old school. And oh yeah, it says the estimated time remaining 12 days. So for those that want to play, I don't know if you might still have probably a couple of days, to check it out once this episode goes live. But we can also link it on, the show notes available for Patreon supporters.
Oh yeah, shout out to Patreon. Okay, yeah, I will put this in your little part of the notes. There you go. Yeah, this is so tight. I'm gonna play with this like as soon as we're done. Cool.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of a neat thing. I'm trying to remember again like where I found it, but anyway, there it is.
Yeah.
For those looking for something to do.
Yeah. Speaking of Reddit, do you know about this /picture thing or whatever it was on April Fool's Day? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
what was it called?
I think Place. Was it Our Place?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't too sure what that was. I mean, I put a little purple square in that huge, picture. It looked like a mosaic, at one point, or it still did. I'm not really sure what it's about. Like, I didn't really read anything, or I was like, okay, do you just place a tile on it or something? I'm not sure. Did you do it?
No, I didn't do it. I had no idea what it was. I was like, what the hell is going on? Like,
I'm still not too sure. Yeah.
I guess it's like an old Reddit tradition or whatever, and they just brought it back. So this wasn't the first time they did it, but I still was like, I don't get it. But
right.
There was something similar that happened a few years ago, right? Where some kid, he had like a big picture where like each pixel was one person choosing a color, I think. And then once all of the pixels were filled up, then he sold it as an NFT for like millions of dollars, I think. I think I have that right. It was
no way.
Yeah, something super simple,
what?
but yeah, I would have to I'll fact check it real quick. Let me see. NFT
God, why can't I
pixel.
come up with like a pointless NFT that's worth millions?
I know, jeez. This is so hard to Google because
I
every
wish.
NFT looks like stupid pixel art.
Yeah, right.
I can't find it, but oh, here it is. Boy, 12 years old makes 29. Wait.
What?
Oh, 290,000 pounds in non-fungible tokens with Minecraft pixel art. I don't think that's the kid I was thinking of. Maybe it was, but anyway, yeah. Kids are just like doing some crazy things nowadays. Hacking Nvidia, selling Minecraft porn, just doing some crazy stuff. I don't know what's going on with the world. and I'm 25.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I already feel like an old.
I was gonna say the older the older you get, the more you realize that you have no idea what's going on, or the crazier things will get. So I feel like I'm already giving up trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Just go with the flow, I think, is the easiest. That's how people survive.
Yeah.
Right?
There's more and more things every day that I encounter where I'm like, that's not worth looking into.
No, exactly. Ignorance truly is bliss.
Yeah, I just remember being younger and be like, what is that? What is that? What is that? And then like looking into everything.
Yeah.
But now I'm just like, I'd rather go do something else. So
Seriously, yeah. That's why we got a bike. I just where Sam and I are trying to do things outdoors, but at least we're still sort of like in our own little bubble where we're doing something that we enjoy. But yeah, sure, there's the influence of traffic or whatever, but we're still kind of like in our own zone, trying to enjoy that as much as we can without not a lot of like, weird influence. Because I feel like on the internet, it's just so much exposure to everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, we need to do something not on our phones or on the TV.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know, at least... Like I think I've talked about this multiple times where like you put the timers on the apps and like it just doesn't do anything.
Oh yeah.
And like deleting them does a lot, I think, because it is more trouble to just download it and then delete it again. So
yeah.
I don't know. For all you people who might be having trouble getting off your phone, which is a lot of you, don't say it's not. A lot of you, including myself sometimes. Just delete whatever high traffic app. And just see how it goes, and you'll eventually like just forget that you even had it. Like for me, I haven't had Instagram in like 2 or 3 months, and it hit me the other day because somebody was like, "Oh, I sent you something." I was like, "Ew, about that." I haven't logged on in a long time. So, but other than that, like just day to day, I know you haven't had Instagram like ever or just in a long time. I don't know, but I know you're also really good about that. Yeah. I don't know. If you think you have a problem, maybe call the lifeline on socialmediaaddicts.com. I wonder if there's like an actual lifeline, like a helpline for social media addiction.
Oh my gosh, maybe. If there isn't, someone needs to come up with that stat.
I'm looking it up right now. Let's see.
Social media addiction treatment.
Well, we have so there is the I'll just read this. So if you or someone you know struggles with addiction, help is available. Call Sam Hussa's National Helpline at 1-800-662-HELP or 1-800-662-4357 to learn more about resources in your area. For additional resources or to connect with mental health services in your area, call the NAMI helpline at 1-800-950-NAMI. So they help with social media addiction. So if you're one of those people, call this number. I'll link it below if you think you need it. So
all right, so there you go.
Yeah. I feel like I get addicted to good things. Like if I get like a new hobby or something like Rubik's Cube, for instance, like getting back into that, that's something that's what I get fixated on. But I feel like I am pretty good about knowing like if I'm doing something that's bad for too long, like video games. Like when I was younger, I would play them a lot, but as an adult now, like I have like specific times of the week when I'm like, okay, I know I can play today and I won't feel bad about doing it, tonight or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I don't have too many vices or anything like that because I'm always just like on my computer working. So maybe I'm addicted to the grind, I guess. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that can be tricky to solve too. I feel like just like last night, I was looking at that automation, project. So I refactored mine because I got tired of Selenium. Yeah, Saturday night. Sam and Augie were already asleep, so I was like, I'm just gonna pull my laptop, and because I wanted to, I don't know, I didn't really have the intention to work on the script, but I was like, I'm bored, so let me just do something kind of fun, and I like coding for fun. And I think that movie Kingsman on. That was a cool movie. And yeah, that's what I did. Like I feel like when it's done, for pleasure, like I'm teaching something, but I'm also having fun doing it. But I am trying to be like, more conscious about like electronic use too. I really don't like having a TV in the bedroom. I'm not a big fan of it. Sam falls asleep with the TV on.
Yep.
I don't, because I actually, like, years ago, I think I got rid of like a TV in the bedroom, and that's the only way, I like could train myself to fall asleep.
Right.
I needed it to be dark and quiet. But yeah, I mean, it's
bedroom's
just
for sleeping.
you know,
It's not for really. Yeah, I mean that's what I've
right,
always thought. I don't have TV in my bedroom anymore either. I'd rather just like I associate that room with just like zoinking out and falling
rest,
asleep.
right? Yeah, right, exactly. But I do have, like another half, so I have to respect her wishes too. So yeah, it's fine. It's not a big deal at all. But yeah, it's, all about like balance, which is the reason why, we're trying to do like other fun things just to get out, get some fresh air. We also have the dog, so like we took him to the park today, just like stepping away for a little bit. And yeah, but I feel like I'll never really see coding or doing something fun on the computer, like if I want to do it, because yeah, sure, I have a job and everything, we do that, like I get to play with all these cool tools for work and everything, but it's different, like building that little automation project. It was super fun,
Yeah.
so I wanted to do something more yesterday, but yeah, so every now and then I just like any excuse to use this computer because I like it so much, so why not?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the thing. It's like that goes with like any hobby. I feel like if you don't have like the good, like the right tools to do what you want to do, then like that
Yeah,
that like kind of stops you from doing it for
right.
a lot of things. That doesn't carry over for everything. Like for instance, when I first started playing guitar when I was younger, I know I had the cheapest, most terrible guitar, but I still, mustered through, and I knew like no matter how good I was gonna be, it still wouldn't sound super great. So I knew though, like once I got more and more into it, that I would really appreciate once I got a slightly newer one. And
Right.
it's difficult though with something that's all digital, like a laptop, because if you have a really crappy laptop, like, I mean, I'm speaking for myself. I feel like my laptop is getting to that point now. It's hard for me to log on for fun now. Like I still do it, and I still code on here and stuff, but some of the stuff
Right.
I really want to do, it's just really CPU heavy, and I can hardly handle even doing this podcast sometimes. So I'm just like, it's such a bummer.
Yeah.
Like,
I know.
yeah, if I did have something a little newer like Anna, I'm telling myself that like I would definitely be coding more, but who knows? Maybe I wouldn't be. But yeah, I mean, you got to have the right tools for the right job, and there is a balance with that, obviously, because sometimes you might go all in thinking you're gonna be, the new, I don't know, Jimi Hendrix or Bill Gates of whatever hobby you're trying to do, and then you end up like being like, oh, I just wasted so much money on this thing. Like, who cares? So, like, there's Rubik's
Right.
cubes out there that I was looking at, and there was one that was like $100, and I was really thinking like,
What?
yeah, I see why. Because when I turn this, sometimes it gets a little stuck. And like I know they make Rubik's Cube grease. It's called Cube Lube. And I was like really thinking about that. But then I saw this $100 one. I was like, maybe. And then I had to tell myself that whole thing like, no, it's so
Seriously, yeah.
dumb. You don't need that. Like, just, until you really, really need it. I guess it's so expensive because it slides really well and the corners aren't super sharp. And then there's also an app that goes with it, so it displays the cube in real time, but in like a 3D rendered format. So it knows the position of everything. So then if you're stuck or whatever, it might tell you how to do a certain move, or there's also training on there, so it's kind of like a board game where you can go to different little areas on your phone and then click on it and then learn how to do something, and it shows you the position of the cube in real time.
Okay.
So it seems pretty fun, yeah, but I don't know. It's like, just make do with what you have until you really, really think you deserve it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm finding that out with the bike too, because, we got the bike and then we got a few accessories for it. Nothing crazy, but we needed to get like a cover because of the weather, like an alarm because we're trying to get, like a garage here where we live.
There's alarms for motorcycles?
Well, it's just like you put it in through the tire, and if it detects any kind of movement, there's like a little siren that goes off, to kind of just like alert. It's oh my God, it's like removable, so it's not permanently fixed to the bike. Obviously, we only have it on when it's parked, at the lot, and we know we're not going to be using it like overnight,
Got it.
And so we got the cover, to keep it kind of to keep it dry when it rains. We got the little alarm, but I mean, anything associated with motorcycles, like the gear is so expensive. We went like to a couple of stores to try on jackets because we need to get jackets with the right padding and everything. So we can, ride around and be a bit more safe, like in case, God forbid, something happens. They're like hundreds. I mean, some of them, like the cheapest one I think I saw yesterday was $130 or $140, but it can get to like $500 or something insane. Literally just some of them are just because it's like Alpine Stars or some like, a flashy brand or anything or something like that, like the racing brands. But same thing, goes for the helmets, the like pants or boots, like things like that. I mean, there's just like you can get things for a car, you can get the same thing for, a motorcycle. But we're taking it slow. We just got the bike like a few weeks ago. And like you said, it's not like I don't want to go all out because I'm still learning. But eventually I feel like some of this stuff is also, safety.
Yeah. I'm going to see you on Pimp My Bike next week on MTV.
Oh my gosh. Is that a show or did they only have it for cars?
I think they only had it for cars. I'm sure somebody approached MTV. It was like, yo, or was it VH1? I don't remember who did that show.
I don't remember either.
Yeah, it might not have been either of them, but yeah, I'm sure somebody came up with Pimp My Bike.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's very fun, but just like any hobby, I feel like it can get pretty pricey, but it's still very fun, I think now going into the summer months, we're definitely going to get a lot of use out of bike.
Yeah, that'll be great. Until you get stuck in that hurricane storm that happens around noon every day in the summer, like that's gonna be you're gonna have to be hanging out at Starbucks for an extra 30 minutes, probably a few times.
Yeah. I know, exactly. That's definitely the case.
But the majority of the day, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be like just in the beautiful sun. So
yeah,
that'd be cool. True. Do you think you would ever do once you get super comfortable on it? Obviously, do you think you guys would do like a quote unquote road trip? Like I don't know what a road trip would constitute for a motorcycle, but like a longer-ish day trip maybe. It doesn't have to be like days of traveling, but. Yeah.
Well, I mean, a funny thing is there is a Honda event because we have a Honda Rebel. There's a Honda event just later this week at one of the big bike meetup spots here in Orlando.
Whoa. And
we're pretty excited about going. So Sam is gonna ride the bike. I'm gonna take the car because we're still not too confident with going both of us on the bike. So. That's one thing that we're already planning on doing. But eventually, if, when we get to the point where I don't know how comfortable it will be for both of us to be on this bike, because this bike is pretty good. Like when you're just a single person on it, it's very comfortable. It's perfect, for a single rider. For two, it's not the best. I think if you're going like close by, it's like a quick little joyride or whatever
Right.
for someone, maybe like if your passenger doesn't know how to ride or they don't want to, it's totally fine. But because both of us like to ride a bike, now that I'm learning, I really enjoy it. I feel like when I think it's more of a not if, but when we, have the opportunity to have a second bike, then it'll be cool, to like take it out to, I don't know, Bike Week in Daytona, check out all of the other bikes, or
Bike
go
Week.
to like a nearby. Bike Week must be like crazy. I've seen the videos, and
I lived
it'll be
there.
super intimidating. You live there. There you go.
Yeah.
You know the crowd. But I think it'll be really cool for me. Like one of my big goals, for the future, is to be able to take feel confident enough to take the freeway and maybe go out to Tampa to like Clearwater and drive on those little streets, by the water, kind of like just to have like a fun, afternoon just riding around with kind of like very little plans, just to like go out there and have some fun, go through the bridge and all of that. That sounds really, really exciting to me, but it's still, something that I will have to work hard towards because it's, it's a dangerous, mode of transportation. You have to be so aware of everything that you do, but you're driving not just for you, for other people, because in a car, you're pretty safe, with the technology that cars have nowadays, you stand a chance, but with a bike, not really.
Yeah.
So
no matter what you do with the technology behind a bike, there's very little you can do as far as the safety goes. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I think that once I get to that point, like a couple of years down the line, if we both have bikes, then we'll think about, taking it out for like a few hour, like, just to go to like a nearby town. I don't have that dream of like driving cross country or anything like that. I think that I don't know if I would be very excited about that. You're so exposed to the elements, so it seems like it would be very exhausting. Even though you can stop, but the thing is, like a bike is kind of like depending on your posture, like depending what kind of bike it is, it might not be the most comfortable thing. So it's a lot of things to consider. But yeah, for now, it would be really cool to just go like to the beach, I don't know, take like a nice highway and just go look at certain things and
I'm sorry, Anna.
have some fun.
I think we're out of time. For some reason, the outro music is playing for me right now.
Really?
All right. Well, thank you guys for listening.
Okay, bye everyone.
In all seriousness, thank you guys for listening. I can't even hear myself talk because the music is so loud. Oh my god. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you guys for listening. This has been Tech Heads. Thank you, Anna, for always podding with me. It's always fun. Yeah. Peace out, guys.
You too.